Get mantra and meditation MP3s at JasonGallant.ca.
Today I'd like to talk about something that is confused quite often by the self-proclaimed spiritual adepts, and that is the subject of love and unconditional love. And a lot of times these people will mix up the concept of relationship with unconditional love. And what I mean by this is that when you are in a state of love, you are in a state of recognition. You recognize that which is before you because you are in a deep state of connection with it. It is a sort of relationship. But it isn't conditional. I can have a relationship or a connection with the forest around me, but I don't have to, say, do something specific with the forest in order for that relationship to be filled with love. So what I'm getting to is, a lot of times people will have heart openings which are beautiful and they'll experience love and they're like, hey, all there is love. And then what they'll do is they'll jump into a relationship they had before that had already not worked out and was probably abusive or something, and then assume that their unconditional love will somehow magically change the circumstance. And that can happen. I'm not saying it can't, but you also are recognizing, most importantly, with every spiritual realization of unconditional love, is that you can either be in a normal relationship with a person or not, and love still exists. So if you had a past wife or husband, or or you had a friendship that was not necessarily functional, right? For instance, maybe it was a relationship of some sort where, let's use a story. Say you have a boat and you take your friend for a ride in that boat, and the entire time they're drilling holes in the boat, sinking you both into the bottom of the ocean, right? You can love that person, but recognize their nature and say, hey, I probably shouldn't have them in a boat with me because we're going to sink. Love can still exist, but you might not have them in your boat. You see? But where some spiritual aspirants get lost is that they assume, no, if everything is love, then I must just overlook everything and just have a certain structured relationship with a person, not recognizing this person's nature, not recognizing this person's maybe individual circumstance and what they need. Perhaps they need to be in a different sort of situation, or not be in a certain type of relationship, or not be in friendship with you, like whatever it might be. What I'm trying to say is that recognition is part of this love thing. And you can love a person even if you are not in a direct traditional relationship with them. You can love the entire planet even if it's not doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing according to some standard. You see? Love is a state of being. That's the unconditional love. Unconditional, right? The unconditional means that it isn't bound by having to be in a certain structure or not. That's what you're on the spiritual path to realize. And then therefore you can have the conditional sort of relationships, and you can have these certain things, but recognize the unconditional love within yourself. And then you'll see that you have more to share, and also a greater ability to recognize where this love wants to take you. a lot of times you'll realize a greater source of love within you, this magical experience. And then the mind will want to take control of that experience and to put it into familiar places. But you don't have to follow the mind. That's really my point. The point is to follow the heart's guidance, not the mind, which always wants to take and control something and understand it. If you don't know the answers, sit in the heart, and as you realize the deeper sense of unconditional love, at some point you'll see that it moves, not from a desire and fear place that the mind guides you from, but more like a fulfilling, absolute movement of truth in one direction or another. And it will happen in its own timing. You can't control it. All you can do is receive it. Surrender to it. As you do this, the wisdom of discernment will become more readily available to you. So you're not caught in these spiritual idealisms. Spiritual idealisms are a tricky thing. It's really just an ego, but with spiritual concepts intertwined, right? If you wish to become free, then you have to also surrender the spiritual ego. The idea of how good of a person you are and how you just love everybody regardless, and lay down in front of a train and let it run you over just for the sake of being ultimately martyr-like. You see? You surrender all those concepts because those concepts are conditions. And if unconditional love is what you're after, you surrender the conditions of the mind and then allow love to guide you in the way that is correct for you. Not what you've read in a book somewhere or what some guy on YouTube tells you. So unconditional love is already yours. It is already given to you. And it is realized when you surrender the concepts you have around love. I hope this helps you on your spiritual journey. Take care for now.
Are you interested in working with a spiritual teacher in a formal setting? Well, perhaps the Wisdom Life School is for you. If you're interested in checking out what the Wisdom Life School is all about, just go to aratima.com.